Tim Pool, I just wanted to say thank you, man. I appreciate you. And I just wanted to let you know that you are literally changing people's lives. You're changing people. You're changing a lot of lives in this country. You're opening up a lot of people's eyes. I did see Gary Lamb's video, a message to Tim Pool, a little while back, and that blew up, and that was great. He got the message out, and I think that probably got a lot of people to come out and check you out and see what you were about. Now, for me, I've never been political. I mean, I spent, a couple decades of my life running around on drugs, being homeless. The last thing I cared about was politics. However, 5 or 6 years ago, I decided to clean my act up. And I mean, still after that, I didn't really pay attention to politics or anything that was going on. I was more focused on getting my life back together and, getting a job and getting a place to live and getting my license back in a vehicle and all the stuff that normal people do every day. Well, I lost all that. It took me a bit to get it back. But, for me, it was Trump derangement syndrome, orange man bad. I was listening to mainstream media. I was listening to social media memes. I was listening to the people around me who are mostly Democrats and liberals. I wasn't thinking for myself. And it wasn't until probably somewhere around a year ago or sooner than that, I started listening to some other people's perspectives, some conservatives, I guess, some Republicans, just to get some different perspectives. I started listening to you, Tim, on YouTube, and man, I'll tell you, once I started hearing some different perspectives, I figured somebody's lying. Somebody's lying to me, somebody's lying to the American people, and I wanted to find out who it was. So basically, what I found out was the mainstream media and the establishment, the radical left. These people are all in the same corner, and it's truly, truly disgusting. And I know how much. I know how much you, Tim, put. Listen, I'm just going to speak to you like you hear this. I'm guessing that you're probably not going to. If you ever down the road happen to hear it, that's how I'm going to talk to you. Now, I know how much you can't stand mainstream media. I know how much you like to point out that they're just liars. And basically, that's what I've come to find out, is that these people are just lying, and they're delusional. The stuff that they say and that they write is lunacy, and it's so far from the truth. It's so biased. It's amazing. And it actually blew my mind. And so once I started seeing the hypocrisy of the mainstream media, seeing how social media, followed right in line with the mainstream media with the hypocrisy, and the Democrats and the liberals, the same thing. There's so much hypocrisy there that the only way that I can see this country somehow coming out of this madness, and honestly, I don't ever see how one person is going to come in and change the division that's going on in our country right now. But the way I see it, if Donald Trump wins this election, we have a chance at restoring some law and order. We have a chance at maybe squashing Antifa and these BLM riots, protests, whatever they're called. We need to get respect back to law enforcement. People assaulting law enforcement officers, I couldn't even ever imagine. Like, when did that ever become a thing? Wishing death upon law enforcement. If you don't align with what the left says, you're a racist. If you don't, I'm not buying the Black Lives Matter garbage one bit. And so all of a sudden people are calling me a racist and a white supremacist and all this other nonsense that could be the furthest thing from the truth, but I hear it all the time now. And you can't, when did it okay to just go around calling people a racist? Like, when? That's not okay. And the Proud Boys, there may be a lot of things, but they're not a white supremacist group. It's like Tim pointed out many times, Enrique Tarrio, he's a black Cuban. He's one of the leaders. It's just the way they think is so bizarre. And so, honestly, Tim, if I didn't start following you, I don't know if my mind would have ever, if I would ever change my mind. So, thank you for opening up my eyes. Trump will have this. Like I said, I've never voted before. This is going to be my first year voting. My fiance's first year voting as well, and we're both voting for Trump because you've opened up both of our eyes to the hypocrisy of the left, to these liberal lunatics. And just like you said in one of your recent videos I was watching, it's scary to think what'll happen if these people get in power. We all know Joe Biden, he's going to be 78. I mean, he's hanging on by a limb with his mental capabilities. We all know it's going to be Kamala Harris running that, at the helms, and her little band of followers with AOC and Ilhan Omar. And if these people get in power, just like you said, I'm afraid of what's going to happen. Like, are they going to bring critical race theory back, which is just basically saying that we're all race, that, America's racist, and because I'm white, I'm racist. I mean, I'm in a bad group right now. Being a white, straight male in America is, and leaning conservative. I don't know what you would call me as far as a political party goes. I don't label myself a conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican, anything, but where my beliefs align and the color of my skin and my sexual orientation is, it's bad these days. People call you a lot of names: transphobic, homophobic, racist, this, and none of it could be further from the truth. And so we need to squash that out. We need to get back to standing for the flag, to being proud of the country we live in, being proud of the steps we've made as a country and as people to abolish slavery and to make the leaps and bounds. I mean, we had a black president, not for one term, for 2 terms, and people still think somehow that we're a racist country. So we need to get rid of that nonsense, and I think Donald Trump right now is our only hope. And just like you said, Tim, I'm never going to throw a MAGA hat on and wave a Trump flag around. And it's, I don't hate Donald Trump. I don't love Donald Trump. I think he's the man for the job right now. He can be very rude, but we need somebody that's not politically correct right now, unfortunately, to say, no, we're getting rid of this critical race theory. It's racist. It's garbage. We need someone that's going to stand up and say that. We don't need someone that's going to bend the knee and pander to these people. And Donald Trump's the man for the job. And Tim, you opened my eyes, and I mean, I come to you for my news. And I know you're a little biased on some things. Who isn't? But yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you opening up my eyes. I share your videos a lot to a lot of people I know. There are some people I know that you just never change their mind no matter what they see or hear. They're set in their ways. But there's people that kind of may be on the fence. I share your videos with them so they can see the truth. They can see, a guy like you, a journalist who focuses on reporting the truth, letting people know what's actually going on out there in the world, letting people know that these protests aren't peaceful protests, that cities are being burned down, that Antifa is not just an idea, as Joe Biden said. It's a real organization that's very dangerous to this country. So I just wanted to come on, give a quick shout out to you, Tim. You do a lot more than just get in front of the camera and rant and rave about politics. You're changing people's lives, and it's greatly appreciated by me, and I know a lot of other people feel the same way. So yeah, Trump's got my vote this year. I think it's the only way to move forward as a country. I'm just starting out my YouTube channel, so I'm kind of new at all this, being in front of the camera. But if anyone watching, if you liked what I had to say, go ahead and subscribe. I got a lot of cool ideas coming down the road. Tim, if you ever get to hear this, that would be great. Thank you. I appreciate you. Everybody have a great day.